And we are back. Thanks for joining me tonight. Really excited. We've got a TZ Andariel here coming up in just a few minutes. This will actually be the start of another 1,000 TZ Andariel runs. So this will actually be the first set of runs here. Starting from run number 1 and seeing how many we can get done tonight. So just to change things up with this new set of runs, I'm actually going to be using my sorceress, but changing to a fireball sorceress. So I've been doing everything with a cold sorceress so far with Blizzard and doing just a players count 3 here, but being offline, I'm going to change this up, try to do players count 5 with full Talrash's set and using fireball. So I have not played a fire sorceress since leveling, so this is going to be a fun little change of pace here. So looking forward to that when the TZ starts up here in just a few minutes. So just to take a look at what we've got so far, I've got the typical full Talrasha set. So I've got all those items. Nothing has been socketed at this point. I am running kind of a less than perfect weapon from the Tal set, but that's mostly just to ensure that I'm getting the 2 Fire Mastery. I've got a 2-2-1 that I use on the Cold Sorceress. Otherwise, here I've got my 35 faster cast rate Spirit. I'm switching over to Mage Fist from using the Trangs gloves. Those are always my go-to just for faster cast rate normally on a caster, but since I'm doing Fire Sorceress, we'll get that fire skills there. And then for Magic Find, I've got the War Travs. These are 49% Magic Find, near perfect from that perspective. So solid Magic Find boots. And then 2, at least from a Magic Find perspective, perfect Nagel rings. So they both got 30% there. So what does that do? That gives us, over here from Magic Find, we're about 331 here today. This was a respec, so I've got just kind of the minimum strength to equip the Spirit, and then max Vitality build here. So this is my offline character. I'm not fully perfect geared out at this point, so I don't even have a torch yet. I do have my Annie Charm. I did find 1 Stone of Jordan ring while doing 1,000 regular Andariel runs while gearing up this character, and so sold that to get this Annie Charm. So just a mid roll on the Annie Charm, and then from a other charm perspective, got a decent Geeds here, kind of a nice balance with the gold find and then the magic find there. And then I'm going to start by running with this Fire Sunder charm, because I do know that a lot of the common kind of ads that are around Andariel do have fire immunity. I think the kind of the fallen or whatever you want to call those little guys, and then the zombies, those are always fire immune. So this should help with those in case it's kind of overloaded right by Andariel. Then I've got a couple just plain fire skillers that I got during some Grand Charm reroll sessions. Got a 15 all resist Grand Charm, and then just some mostly resist and a little bit of magic find small charms to supplement there. So that's what I've got. That's the gear set that we're going to be rolling with today. As I said, we're going to be doing players count 5, so Andariel will have more health, will be a little bit more punishing with the ads around there. My mercenary is not totally kitted out at all at this point, just a solid ethereal insight, so no infinity, nothing like that. And then just Gladiator's Bane and Vamp Gaze, mostly they're trying to just kind of do the damage reduction, try to keep them alive a little bit more. Beyond that, when I respect, just went maxed out Firebolt as a synergy for both Fireball and Meteor, and then maxed out Fireball, Meteor, and Fire Mastery. On that with some of the extra points, just threw a ton into Warmth, with some of the excess ones. I'm planning on doing just Fireball and Meteor for the fire damage. Otherwise, just the standard 1-point skills. We'll use Static Field to take Andariel down quite a bit there as well. So that's the general setup right now. I do not have the muscle memory going yet when it comes down to Fireball. Used to playing Blizzard and Cold Sorceress, so this will be a little bit of a change. We'll see how it goes. Going to keep it at players count 5 for now, hopefully to have a good combination of efficiency and some slight improvements on the drops comparative to players count 3. The jump between players 1 and players 3 is massive. The jump is much smaller from 3 to 5. I've seen something like increase of maybe 12 to perhaps 14%, which is noticeable, but the jump between 5 and 7 is measured, I think, closer into that maybe 4% increased chance. So we are level 93, so we're past that level 91 kind of break point where all of a sudden a lot of the higher level treasure classes are unlocked for Andariel 1 Terrorized. So should be switching over. We do have actually TZ Andy now, so we'll get out there and get this first run going. All right, we've got the refreshed run counter here. We'll kick that off, and then we'll get our first run going. Have to stop a couple times just to mess with the layout as we go from single-digit run counts up to double digits. Ruggle, hey, thanks for joining me again, bud. Not sure if you've caught the... Oh boy, it's going to be a rough one to start. had to get this combination here, but Andy did get wiped out really quick there, so it's interesting to see what that fire damage does there. Gimmer Shed, I'll be rezzing my Merc here quite a bit. So as I did in the intro, Ruggle, just for a heads up, I am switching over to Fire Sorceress here, doing Fireball, and Respect for this, running players count 5 this time instead of players count 3 Andariel, starting a fresh 1000 Andariel run kind of project. I wrapped up the 1000 TZ Andy runs just a little bit ago, and I'll be editing that video and getting that out here eventually. But this will be a separate group that we're going to count just to make sure that we're getting fresh, complete data here. All right, nothing there. And Necro. All right. Thank you, thank you. Let's see if we can have a good set of runs tonight. Have had some pretty good luck the last couple times. Had a really terrible Mephisto TZ that I live streamed. I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. But since then, I'd had a really solid Andariel to make up for that. So we'll see what we can do here. All right, just a hell clap. Nothing there. Do have the Holy Grail thing running in the background, so hey, thanks for joining. This is about as late as I'm ever willing to run this, so I really appreciate you spending some time with me, giving up some of your sleep to stick around for the really late stream. So I can definitely relate to that. All right, let's try. And since this is not, again, this is my single-player character, not fully kitted out, so I don't have things like Call to Arms, so I don't have those kind of extra buffers for health, so I am certainly going to be a little squishy here, so Demox Hue, low level, but... So there is certainly chances that I will get chunked and die, and so I'm willing to roll the dice there, and kind of see how I can pick up on the Fireball Sorceress. But the The run counter again reset because we're restarting a kind of a fresh 1,000 Andariel Run project here, only here on the single digits thus far, but just wrapped up the first 1,000 runs not too long ago. So, all right, nothing special there. We'll keep going. Only going to pick up the things that are either higher level or things that I need to worry about for. I do have a very long enduring project that I'll be doing with a ethereal Grail project, but basically an impossible to complete sort of project for someone that plays a normal amount of D2 like me, but do like to have the stats and work through all that. So, all right, what do we got here? We got a Sunder, Cold Sunder, 71%, near perfect. I do have a perfect one, I believe, for Cold Sorceress, but I will stick that in the bank just in case. Let's check out the belt. I always like to see these rare belts.
I can't.
All right. Keep it going. Jot that Cold Sunder down, throw her in the bank, and keep rolling. All right. Run 7 already. Going quick. 7 minutes in. Started a couple minutes late on the actual runs themselves, so. But haven't died yet. Is that a good thing? Or is that certainly not impressive? But a couple of Grand Charms already. Or max damage. Nothing special there. One thing I don't really like about having these terrorized zones with trying to stream it is you try to cram in as many runs as you can in such a short period of time that when you're streaming you have no time to actually show what you're looking at. You kind of play it like you might as a player, where you just are only caring about the things that you know you want to pick up. Only take a look at something in the ID section for half a second while you decide whether you care about it or not, and then you move on. I'll have to pause for just a second once we hit the next run, once we hit double digits, because I'll have to kind of adjust the way that I'm listing the run counter every time. It's a really old program. I'm planning to actually do a video to kind of show how it works. But, kind of cuts things off really easily depending on how it gets. There you see that. So let me adjust that really quick here so that we can see what we've got. And there we go. Ready to keep going here. Run number 10. So this is a nice little tool that I've really enjoyed. It not only keeps count of the actual runs that you're doing, but you can add the drops to the list. And so that way, when I'm doing the videos and I get done with, say, 1,000 run count project, I can just go there, use that list as kind of the playbook, we'll say, to kind of check off and add all those fancy drops. It's just a little Windows program that runs in the background. It can automate things when you're playing offline. Online, it's a little bit more manual. You got to do some keybinds usually to kind of switch runs, but it's really cool, and I'm planning to make a little video about it because you might have seen it on some other streamers or other D2R video makers. It's a really nice thing if you're going to do some big projects or you have some interest in doing some statistics. It also track how long each of the runs take. So if you want to challenge yourself and see how fast you can go or how efficient you can be, it's a nice little tool. I'm a big numbers person. I love the stats. So anything that can help me learn more about what's happening and track it, overanalyze things, even though I spend more time sometimes looking at the numbers instead of playing the game. So, all right, we have some time yet to get some good stuff. Ethereal Edge, nothing special there. Grab the Archon plate just for a little bit of gold when I reload here on my scrolls.
The Order welcomes you.
All right. Nothing too exciting yet. Just got that minus 71% Cold Sunder. All right. Thanks for dropping by, Ruggle. You have a good night. Really appreciate your support here. All right. Ruggle's leaving. That means we need to get something awesome here very quickly. Ethereal. Dong. There we go. We got a dong. All right. So I'm assuming many of you have heard that, but that sound there is coming from a little tool that helps track your Holy Grail run. So I'm doing one that's doing both normal and ethereal items. So you get the lovely dong when you identify or find something that is fresh or new to be added to your Grail. So nothing special there, just one checking off that ethereal shield. All right, let's keep it going. Run 14. We'll say so far the switch. Wow, there's a few uniques. This is Guardian Angel, which is really nice sometimes if you need to kind of boost up your Merc for their max resist there. Just checking these mostly to make sure that they're not ethereal. All right. Yeah, so kind of the big switch for me coming in here doing this as fire. I've been playing the sorceress exclusively as cold since I leveled her up a few months ago to kind of start off my single player adventure here. So just kind of working on the muscle memory on some of the different approaches here with the fireball stuff. I'm really interested to see if this is going to be much more effective and efficient here on Andariel, given her weakness to fire. So I think we got a Bartux here. Yep, got a pile of those. Nothing too useful there, but that's always a classic item to kind of grab. Those are really good. I think kind of back in the maybe 1.09 days, maybe even a little bit before that. But do remember some of those high level class specific items were really nice for a long time. You know, your grandfathers for your whirlwind barbarians back when those were kind of some of the top dogs. Those were always great things to find. This is going to be a high density this run here. Make sure I don't miss something or there's something good on the ground to pick up. Alright, let me get this. Alright, nothing there. I've already got that one in ethereal version anyways. Alright, double check the amulet in case it's a... Nope, just an Irithas. Irithas. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that one. But always got to check for that Talzami. All right, to run 17 already. Not super fast, but it's been pretty solid here on players count 5. Probably worth it versus doing it on players count 3. Okay. Always store those junk jewels for Battle Belt. Which one's that one? No, I don't need it. It's Wilhelm's? Yeah, Wilhelm's. Alright. I do keep all of those gems just so that you can use them when you're doing a crafting session. I am just about ready to go with a 100 caster amulet crafting session. I've got plenty of jewels, piles of jewels, and I've got, I think I've got all the amethysts, and then I am just a few rals away to having those 100 rals ready for that session here. Alright, we'll just double check these. Always do love to see Lidless Wall. That was a classic, talking about back in the day. That was, for a long time, that was kind of best in slot caster shield before Spirit came up and just kind of blew everything out of the water. But love to see that. Just checking the rest for Ethereal. That's not Ethereal. I'm sure I've got that one already. Okay. Great. Lidless Wall. Classic. Alright. Make a little bit of space here. And keep her going. Alright. Really hoping to get at least one really big ticket item. Some really rare drops here tonight. Last time I streamed TZ Andy, we got a Shaco and we got a couple other really solid drops. I don't think we got any of the major TC87 uniques. Double Axe, Ethereal. Alright, okay. Just checking off at least some low level Ethereal items there. But I did let my Merc die, so paid for it. Paid for it with the blood of a sob. Throw that in here just for storage. And keep going.
Hello.
Oh. Alright. Refresh the coffers. I do find my mercenary certainly dies more than I would like to see playing TZ Andy. So she likes to nuke him down. And there's so many ads around that they can have some crazy auras or affixes that they can wipe them out really quick if it's something not great. Alright, gold skin. That's a cool one. But heavy gloves, and this is the Sanders. 20% IS, decent, useful, early game sort of drops and gloves for your melee character. All right. Pace is just okay, not exceptional, but okay. Do feel like Andy does enough damage here that I really don't think quite at the point where I'd feel comfortable with doing her on players count 7. I just don't think it's probably the best call here. So, all right, love to see the giant thresher, but if it was ethereal, I'd be picking that up and doing that hole punch. But I'll be working towards an affinity here pretty soon. I'll be doing massive amounts of lower Kuros runs for that, so that will be a fun project. Many people just hate that kind of grind. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Something I haven't done before, so at least doing it once sounds like a really fun, challenging project for me. So what am I looking to get? Obviously everybody is always looking for those Griffin's eyes, but spoiler alert, I've actually had 3 of those drop already. 2 of them from TZ Andariel, Suicide Branch, classic little early game one, not ethereal there. So I've actually had 3 Griffins drop, 2 from Andariel and 1 from Mephisto on terrorized versions. One of them was really solid. One of them was minus 19 plus 15, I believe, which was one off perfect for that. So right now that's sitting currently on my Amazon, but will be my, just double check these for ethereal, not ethereal there, and Hurt a Charm. All right, Hurt a Charm there. Nope, nothing special. Keep her going. I've had really good luck there with the Griffin's drops, but looking for things like Death's Fathom. Love to have that as an option for a cold sorceress. Death's Web for the Necro would be a cool one to get. Those are ones that I would love to kind of check off the list. obviously gradually working towards a, let's double check, not ethereal, you know, gradually working towards a holy grail, both regular as well as ethereal. So just love making progress on that, and getting those dings, those dongs here and there to check items off is always fun. But you can never pass up Terrorize Andariel or Mephisto if you're still working on any of these things from a Magic Find perspective. It's just too overpowered from that perspective. Alright. When Andariel isn't smothered in ads, she really does melt to this fireball build. It's pretty crazy how even without insane gear, just running with, you know, full towels, just because of her vulnerability to fire, it's pretty crazy. But I mean, I don't have oh yep, see there's those auras, those affixes. Still Andariel drops. I do not have the infinity, so I don't have that massive damage boost either, but she still just dies to just a handful of those fireballs to the face. So quite a bit different from what I'm used to with the cold sorceress, but at least able to bump this up in difficulty up to players count 5. So that's nice to see. All right, Demon Hide Sash. Which one is that? Blanking off the top of my head. That's String of Ears. 11, 13. Kind of a middle of the road one, but it is certainly a nice belt to have from a damage reduction perspective. Really solid on your melee characters, in particular your barbarians. So I'll just throw that aside just in case I want to keep that with some of the other ones, but not really a noteworthy drop at all. And really, the only thing that I even jotted down as being interesting thus far, besides a couple of those ethereal things, is just the Cold Thunder, just because it had a solid roll on it. It was a minus 71, so it's a little slow going here thus far. 29 runs in. It's pretty sad because non-TZ Andy, you shouldn't really expect amazing drops in 29, 30 runs, but we really get spoiled when she is terrorized. So we learn to expect things basically every run, which is very unrealistic. All right, so this should be another rough one. Get that mercenary melted. He's gonna die. All right.
I am overburdened.
Just double check every charm here. Nope. And then the roll on this. 99 defense. Nope. Alright, we'll keep going. Hey Drew, thanks for joining me tonight, man. Looking forward to some really good drops here. Ruggle was with us a little bit earlier, but he had to bail, so appreciate you keeping me company and seeing, hopefully, some really awesome, valuable, and rare drops here coming up with the kind of the second 2/3 of this hour of TZ Andy. So we are 31 runs in with this fresh start on a second 1,000 TZ Andy project, and not a lot of noteworthy items to call out thus far. So Flame Bellow, this is one of those items that I want to like, but really does suck. So let's keep going here. So we are on players count 5 again. Here on single player. Got my freshly respect Fireball Sorceress, who seems to be melting Andariel pretty quickly, at least to justify this compared to the Cold Sorceress. Oh. This is one that I always wanted that to be a much better item, but it just sucks. So not ethereal, so there's nothing of value there, and we'll keep going. If John, if you can engage the streamer luck for me, that would be awesome. So I had an absolutely terrible Mephisto stream a couple weeks ago and followed it up a day later with a really solid, or a couple days later, really solid Andariel. So I think we're owed some action here. Thank you for your assistance. There goes the. All right, circlet. Oh wait, succubus skull. This bone flame. I gotta move so I don't die here. Bone flame. Does that have any roll ranges? It's got the 2 necro skull. It's one of those things like so high level, should be amazing. It's not, but still got the dong. So that's cool. First time seeing one of those. I think I'm required legally to check on the blue J mod that isn't a J mod, but I had to pick it up, and that's paid for that dong. There's a reason why you watch Llama and you watch some of these other guys when they're doing these sort of farms. They grab the item, they get out of there, and then they deal with it in the next run. Well, I did not do that, and I lingered way too long. Now, I'm being picky here. I do want that experience back, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to roll the dice here and try to get my body back. And pick up some of these potions. That's what I get for letting my guy die and not protecting myself while looking at those items. So, self-inflicted for sure. Alright. Let's get out of here. Ugh, yuck. But preserved a lot of that experience there. Alright, we'll throw this bone flame in there. The circle, that's just nauseous, but I just wanted to pick it up because that's cool. And we'll sell that and refresh our ID scrolls and keep rolling. And hopefully die less. So, first one tonight. I was prepared for some death tonight with Andariel being beefed up a little bit. Again, I do not have a call to arms, so I do not have those significant health bonuses there, but I was just rolling in here on Andy, hoping to face roller instead of getting stomped. So, alright. Okay, we're up to run 35 already. Not an amazing pace, but pretty solid. But sometimes the talk too soon. Did we have a super fast? I don't think I'm going in there. I'm gonna have to reset this one. Paid for that.
Good day.
It's now a streak. Yeah, don't die. I've finally got some good advice. Your strategy is certainly correct, John. Okay, paid for it in blood. That means, well, this time those auras are wicked sometimes here. And he's dead already. Alright. Okay. Paid for it in blood. I think I'm owed a decent drop here in the next couple runs. I think you're owed. I think you are owed a solid run here. Solid drop in the next couple runs. Alright. Let's get our Asab and keep rolling. There are no brakes when you're doing this. It's all gas. Makes it rough sometimes. Hey Drew, have you been playing at all? Any hammered in play of late? Or you been mostly taking a break? Alright, let's see what we got here. Special there. Nope. Just living vicariously through my deaths. Alright. We're gonna keep this deathless streak alive. Made it to, what was it, run 35. I was prepared early on for some deaths, but somehow delivered a decent streak to start, so. Sometimes the damage that comes out here, it just makes me feel very, very
I am overburdened.
weak and easily smashed. Alright. Okay, we've broken 40 with really nothing to show for it. Very limited drops to show for it, so that's pretty surprising. Pretty disappointing on Andariel's front. She always seems to deliver. Mephisto's a little flakier for me, but we have not had a single unique amulet, or, well, that's why I said it, because we had not seen one yet. So, what do we got here? Worthless mantled heal. Thank you. Non-ethereal, that's not important. Just double check the charm, and nothing there. I was going to say that we hadn't seen unique jewelry yet, which Andariel is known for, but got one there, so streak broken. But no unique amulets yet. We'll see if we can get something like that here tonight. Could really go for another Stone of Jordan, you know, or 2 or 3, but one more would be great because I used my one and only to sell it to get this anti-charm here. Faster run walk without another combination of drops. Alright. Slow going so far, but we still have a bit of time, half the hour left to turn it around here. So really just all we really got here is this Cold Center, which not quite perfect, 71, and then really nice, at least from a Grail perspective, drop the Bone Flame, but otherwise just a couple ethereal drops for the ethereal Grail, but nothing of really good use or value yet. So we've got some time. John promised some streamer luck. It has not come through quite yet, so hopefully here very quickly we'll turn this around here and get something worthy of watching. Besides all the cost of resurrecting my mercenary every runs here. Some interesting stuff with that. Nothing amazing, but I'll set that aside just in case. Alright, run 43 already.
Hello.
Yeah, this is about the latest slot I am willing to do these terror zones, but you really can't pass up TZ Andy when you want to work through dropping things for I got this exact combination just a few runs ago. The plated belt and the military picks. Both of them in the same run. Probably about 10 runs ago. You feel like you sometimes see some of those repeated drops, which make no sense because it's not supposed to work that way, but sometimes almost feels like it's designed to. Alright, we'll see if my Merc's gonna die immediately here. These auras are very rough. Alright, 3 uniques. Not ethereal. You know, here I've actually only gotten, I think this is only my 3rd pair of chance guards in the whole time playing this, which is pretty crazy here. All right, we got an ethereal one. Death Spade. There we go. Dong. Hey, at least we're checking off some of the ethereal items. That's 3 ethereal items for the Grail this set of runs. That's not too bad, but that's not my goal. That's not my goal tonight. My goal is to get some awesome drops. So hopefully we can have some of that as well. So, all right, resurrect that merc and keep going. So got about 25 minutes left. 45 runs in so far. And again, nothing amazing. Bone knife, you know, these are cool whiz spikes, but no real use at this point. Those are always nice early ladder or during a playthrough. It's nice to get one of those with massive bonuses that it gives you, which is pretty cool for a little knife. But obviously once you get your spirit crystal sword, it's easily outclasses that. Alright, charm, small charm, let's see if we got anything there. Alright, 3 more uniques to check out. Just looking for whether they're ethereal or not. We definitely have all these. Okay, chainmail and the scutum. That one. All right. Oh, looks like I missed a flawless skull there. Always pick up all the flawlesses for various grand charm rerolls. Love to do those videos, but also love me some skillers. So, do currently have 2 fire skillers on this character, which I did get during my last reroll session in the course of about, I think it was like 7 rerolls. Oh, there we go. We got a facet. Let's see what we got here. -5, +4 poison. So, certainly the least desirable of the facets from my perspective, but always love to see one of those. All right, let's double check here. Not ethereal, and then we've got our alders, so cool. All right, got a facet. We'll add that to the list. Finally, something else to note here. Let's see here, just so I documented right. It's a poison dye. Poison dye. -5, +4. Cool. Throw it in there. And we'll keep going. So this character is just in the full Tal set. Great combination of offensive and defensive stats that come with that. And of course some really solid magic find as well, which is a big goal here, but makes the gearing easier here. But I have not socketed anything yet at this point. Don't have as many of those quests, but I'll be getting those socketed and fully optimized as I slowly build out my arsenal here on single player. So beyond this sorceress, which is certainly my primary character, I've recently Night Smoke here. We've gotten all those recently as well. Recently leveled a Lightning Fury Javazon, which is the first one of those I've played in years, which has been really fun. Pretty great to kind of experience that screen clearing power of that build. It's nice to kind of have that character twinked out with all the different gear I already farmed on the sorceress during these Andariel runs. So that certainly made things easier. All right, our first unique amulet. Maras. There we go. Oh, sorry. Decent Maras, 25. You know, that can roll between 20 and 30 all resist. So we'll say an average roll, but Love to see a Maras. That's great. I've gotten 3 Maras so far in single player, and those have been, those have been 24, 25, and 26. So nice, nice. That will certainly make the list. 25% all res. And contributing, of course, to our pile of gems for the reroll videos.
Greetings.
All right, we'll keep going. We are on run 51. 51 tonight. We got 19 minutes to go. Still a lot of time for some runs here. So, really enjoying that Lightning Fury Javazon. Unique playstyle. Dragon Shield. We got that TMS Rebuke. Oh, I thought that was maybe 1 tier up, so guess not. Alright, don't need any of those. Checked off the vast majority of the set items in the game, so there's not much that I'm looking for there. Most of them aren't heavily used either, so I'm only going to really pick up the ones that I might want to compare to the rolls that I might have gotten already. So the Lightning Fury Javazon, that is going to be my cow killer. Obviously, Phase Blade. Got a lightsaber. Those are always cool. Not really useful, but cool. Not Ethereal Pike. Don't need that. Oh, missed a rare Monarch. Yellow Monarch over the side. So I got my cow killer getting ready to go. I think I'm at like level about 85, so that's been fun. Do need to get the gear a little bit more optimized. Right now I do have the Van Braces.
I am overburdened.
Got the Soul Drainer. Not particularly useful, but really high level glove. So pretty rare there. We've got another Tal's Belt. Only 13% Magic Find. Obviously I've got a 15 already here. And not Ethereal, so don't need any of that. So with that cow killing Amazon, that'll be a fun one. Looking forward to that. Got the Griffin's Eye on that one, so I've gotten 3 Griffins from these various TZ runs. Did socket that one to add a 5/5 lightning facet to have that fully optimized. It was a really solid roll, so I felt comfortable investing in that one. All right, we got a unique ring. What do we got here? Come on, SOJ. Nagel. Anti-perfect. 15% Nagel ring. That's going straight to the trash. I am a fan of Nagel rings. I am actually wearing 2 of them right now with, but they're the opposite. The ones I've got we got 2 30% kind of perfect Magic Find Nagel rings. So those are solid on the Magic Find. So do like to equip those. So the Amazon's got the diadem. Griffin's Eye there, so in a good double set ring. Lots of green here. Got the solid Griffin's Eye. I've got a pretty well rolled non-ethereal javelins, but I do not have a +4 skills T-stroke, so I've mostly been using the Titan's Revenge. Not ethereal at this point, but still solid rolls. They still absolutely melt the screen. So, all right, hey, we got another unique ring. What do we got this time? Dwarf Star. Not too exciting there, but
Impossible.
like to see others. I'm gonna clear these up because I do want to check out these other ones for being ethereal. Nothing. This one. Spike Shield. Already got that, I'm sure. Sword back. Yeah, that's the one we got. earlier with... come on, give me my gem. That is a pile of drops. So looking to further gear out that Amazon as well. So that's going to be one of the next projects here. And then we can use her to clear out cows for some, perhaps, rune farming and some other options, particularly as I look for some more specific bases here. Hell rune, that's honestly, I think, the first rune that was beyond a really low level for me to pick up here. We'll just double check these. Non-ethereal, nothing there, nothing there. All right, and we will keep going here. I gotta empty this out. Didn't realize I was so full with stuff that probably doesn't need to be saved, but we're on single player. No limits for the number of characters, so mule away. Big piles of stuff. Alright, down to the last 12 minutes. We can get in another probably solid 15 runs at this point. Ooh, this is gonna hurt. Ooh, yeah. Oh, there's the mercenary down. How long till I die? I mean, I could just nope out of this, but that wouldn't be very fun, would it? Where are you, Andy? Small charm to check out. All that and nothing of interest except for that small charm. What do we got? Junk, and of course that weird 1 max damage roll that puts it in the ridiculously high required level. Was a 77. Do I even have enough gold to res? No, not yet. Just barely. All right. All right.
Hello.
Let's get a sob back and keep going. Best thing that I could get for myself tonight. Well, I mean, honestly, I think I'm most interested in a Death's Fathom. I would just love to see one of those. I don't know if I've ever dropped one of those. Just would love to see that from a Cold Sorcerer's perspective, since Cold Sorceress is one of my favorites. So, when I ever, would want to do more of a damage build there. So, I think that if I could pick one thing, that would be my thing. For the longest time, it absolutely would have been a Griffin's Eye, but again, spoiled with 3 of those recently. So, all right, burning through all the gold, resurrecting a sob. Let's see what we can do here before this hour is up. Death's Fathom is a special sorceress orb, kind of like the Oculus, but the next level up. And, oh wow, that was a lot of blues. Yeah. And it has added cold damage, some significant boost to cold damage. And on a cold sorceress, you get tons of minus cold resist in cold mastery, which is kind of the opposite of how the other masteries work. So really having that damage boost is what you're looking for, and so it's by far the highest damage item that you can get for a cold sorceress. So really nice, if you're actually trying to have more of a balanced build, a damage-based build, for particularly if you're trying to level up Winged Harpoon. This isn't Wraith, this is Gargoyle's Bite. Okay, I've got that already, but Battle Dart, don't need that. And Giant, nope, don't need any of those. Okay. Yeah, Death Fathom, Death's Web, Griffin's Eye, those are some of those famous TC-87 items, the treasure class 87 items. So some of the essentially rarest items in the game. Damage right now on this Fireball Sorceress is, you know, let's call it about 10k for Fireball and 20k here. Don't have a ridiculous amount of skillers, so I just got level 32 for most of those skills here. Again, I'm running without a torch since I have not done the key farming yet here on single player. So mostly just the innate hard points into those and the decent skills from things like spirit and whatnot. And of course the Tal Rasha set gives me a lot there too. Alright. Whoa. That, I really do hate when the screen kind of bugs out how you can hardly see things here with the drops. One shield. Wall of the Eyeless. What do we got over here? Huge pile of nothing. Alright. We'll keep her going. What Diablo boss do you relate to? I kill bosses. I don't relate to the bosses. I certainly cannot relate to the spider legs and ample chest of Andariel. So, well, actually, I probably have an ample chest myself, so maybe I can relate to Andariel. Let's see here. Ethereal Broadaxe. I think I already have Gore Shovel. Nope. Dong. Needed Ethereal Gore Shovel. So, hey, that's a wicked awesome weapon. How about that? Alright, let's keep going. Alright, Drew, you asked the question, you gotta offer up your own answer here. Which Diablo boss do you relate to? I think you're maybe a sloppy Duriel. Like a giant slug. Is that you? Alright. Grand Charm. Skiller? No skiller. But hey, 45 to life. 45 to life. But not interested there. Alright, we got Ethereal. These Gimmer Shreds? Ethereal Gimmer Shreds. Gimmer Shreds. Weird name. Alright, cool. Again, tonight is the Ethereal night. I'll take that. We got a white lacquered plate. That could have rolled something more interesting there. We have gotten our fair share of dongs tonight, haven't we, guys? Alright. Everybody else calls them dings. To me, they're dongs. It's a gong sound. Gongs make dongs, so not dings. Alright. Andy owes us something good before the end of the hour. Not this time. The average run speed is going down, which isn't necessarily a good thing. She's dying quickly, but we wanted to take a little bit of time to do inventory management because she's dropping good stuff, so. Alright, small charm. Faster run walk, plain one. Not gonna get the job done there. Almost out. I gotta reload on my ID scrolls because we're gonna have something good here in the last 6 minutes.
Yes?
Alright, refilled, ready to roll. Alright, let's get another 7 or 8 runs in here. 5 minutes, 7 or 8 runs, very reasonable here. As long as we don't die. Oh, I said it now. Said it now. Etten Axe. Got the Rune Master. Only 3 sockets. I have gotten a 5-socket Rune Master before, so that's always cool to see. Griswold. You relate to Griswold. I don't think anybody was going to come up with Griswold, but that's an interesting. I'm gonna have to think. What does that mean? It means you're bulky, tall, stiff, and slow moving. I don't really know. Recoil. Come on now. Kill them all. Diggler, classic, and need to roll for Venom. Okay. All right. Think he was a paladin? I think he was just a drunk. I think he was more of like a warrior class, melee class, probably. He was at the inn just drinking, I think. I don't know my Diablo lore. I know that Griswold was part of Diablo 1. So what the origin story is there, I'm not 100% sure, but Arona. Crown of Ages. That's my first Crown of Ages. In my mind that was a different item. Are there two different unique Coronas? Anyways, nice to see a COA. I think that can do up to 2 sockets. So I'm not really sure the roll range here, but this is another one of those really rare items. So hey, Andy delivered. Wow. It doesn't really get a lot of use, but again, one of those really rare, really nice items to find and check off the list. That's a find. There we go. Very, very cool. Hey, and another ethereal. Skewer of... Alright. Double dong. Double dong in this one. Alright. Slowed us down a little bit, but I'll happily slow down for a COA. That is cool. That is cool. Alright, we'll add that to the pile as we did here too. Wow, look at all those ethereal items. Alright. Double dong dare you. Alright, we're gonna get a couple more runs in here. Hopefully check something else off. COA, that's one of those very rare items that are pretty tough there to check off your Grail, so really great to see that. Alright. Weird pile of stuff, but nope, nothing I want there. Who's the Necromancer boss? That would... Oh, Neelathak. Neelathak's the corpse explosion guy in Act 5. He's kind of a jerk. He's a really big jerk. So, yeah, Neelathak, that could be me. Angry troll that lives upstairs. I've been called that once or twice before. Adalcestus, this is the shadow killer, which is always ethereal. Nothing special there. Alright, I'm gonna have to adjust. Yes, I'm Neelathak. That's the boss that I certainly relate to. Alright. Last one here. Last minute, so we're gonna get one more run in after this, I think. Alright, let's get that last run in here. Alright. Probably the final one we can get before this switches over to another TZ, so try to smash her and get back if we can, but I hear a jewel. Got the plate. Not ethereal. Don't need it. Alright, let's try to sneak one more in. If we can get her engaged, she'll usually... Oh, that's too late. Nope. Too late. Doesn't count. Kill her normal and just get a Dole Rune and an Amulet and a Grand Charm. Alright. What do we got here? Nokazan Relic. And 5 strength 1. Alright, just a couple junk jewels to use. Well, let's make sure they're actually junk. High fire resist. Decent attack rating. Alright. Well, didn't quite get that last run in. So before we take a look there, Drew, my next video, don't have a specific date on it yet. I'm working to wrap up my 1000 Andariel run video. That's a regular Andariel, which was what I used to gear out my first character here on single player. So that is that's the video I'm spending a lot of time editing right now. So this turned out to be a pretty solid hour, at least from checking things off on the Grail perspective. Let's take a look there. We checked off six ethereal items, 5 of them being weapons. Most of them low level things, nothing of really, interesting value. Gimmershed being by far the highest level, we'll call it rarest of the items to get that ethereal drop. Otherwise, the crown jewel was the crown of ages. So this was by far the most rare item that we got today that was useful to check off on that Grail. I do know that this can roll with 2 sockets. The all resist range, I'm not sure what that can roll in. So this looks to be a kind of a lower end Crown of Ages, but really, really great to kind of check that one off. Otherwise, taking a look at things here, we've got Soul Drainer, these being pretty rare, pretty high level gloves, but not particularly useful here. Chance Guards, I just put them in here because I really actually haven't had many of these drop, so they might be slightly better on my than the ones I have right now. Otherwise, a medium roll String of Ears, and then this also being another rare item, but again, not particularly useful. So the Bone Flame being a really high level class-specific Necromancer item. We did get 1 facet today, a -5 +4 poison facet, so not particularly interesting or useful being poison versus some of the other skills, but nice to get that. And then this solid Mara, so 25% all resist Mara. Again, those can roll between 20 and 30, so kind of a direct mid-roll there. We did get early on in the runs, we got our Cold Sunder, which was near perfect, the -71%. I do have I believe I've got a perfect -7. Yep, I do. So that's not something that's going to get use on my Cold Sorceress, but it was still a decent, solid drop. Yeah, so that was a pretty solid run of runs tonight here on TZ Andariel. Love to see some major things getting checked off on the Grail, and again, I'm very slowly working towards that ethereal Grail, which 6 items in an hour session. That's pretty solid, because I believe it's like about 1 in 20 of those drops are going to be ethereal. So it takes a lot of those drops to slowly check those things off. So really appreciate you joining me tonight. Thanks a lot for the support and the chat and kind of keeping me company as we went through all these runs. We had a dry spell early on in the hour, but really turned it around in that second half. The last 20 minutes was pretty solid with we had a double dong, checked off 2 things in one run. We've got the Crown of Ages, which is a nice rare item to check off, and a couple other things that are harder to check off on that Grail. So pretty solid. So thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, if you could, hit like and subscribe so you can get notified of my future videos. Looking forward to dropping some pretty big videos here coming up that are going to have some major loot highlights, some 1,000 run projects. I've got the 1,000 run regular Andariel. I've wrapped up filming on the first 1,000 terrorized Andariel runs. I'm basically done with my 1,000 Pindleskin project, and for terrorized Mephisto, I'm at about 600 runs there. So I'll continue to stream doing the TZ Andy, the TZ Mephisto ones when those are happening during hours that I'm available to stream. So looking forward for finishing up those projects, doing all the editing, and getting those videos out and available for you all. So thanks again for sticking around with me tonight. Late night for many of us. So thanks a lot, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.